if you're watching this video on the Q.R.E network, the rest of the interview is going to be on Guardians of Magic, and that's where I keep all my information about Atlantis, the Sphinx, ancient Egypt. Anything from our ancient past is over on that YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on the Q.R.E network, click the link below and it'll bring you over to Guardians of Magic, and that's where all the information from our ancient past is. And some other interviews that I've done with you is on there as well. So if you want to see more videos of Sarah, go check it out. I pretty much have a playlist. I think you're up to 4 videos on there.
Nice.
I know you had the Miami one when you was in Miami.
Oh yeah.
That was a fun one.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's when the information was first place and fresh in your mind.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
And almost like you left class and called me that day.
I did. I know. I couldn't wait to tell you.
So you mentioned Ascension. So what else is going on with the Ascension stuff? I know we talked about it earlier, and we talked about it briefly because we were talking about things that you're not supposed to be talking about. But if you could just give us a recap of what's going on with the Ascension the best way you can without getting into trouble.
Well, I mean, basically what we're going through right now, that this is what I've been told from higher beings, is that when we came to see this planet, and I say we because we are the essentially all that is, but when we came to see this planet, something interfered with our seeding it. And it was the fear virus. And we weren't supposed to have a planet with the fear virus. It was not supposed to be a planet that had that attached to it. So we've spent so long getting to the point where we're ready to release this fear. And this planet, when we release this fear, this planet will ultimately raise its consciousness. So we're in the process of doing that right now. And we're raising our frequency and our vibration as well on the planet right now. I mean, most people can think about their lives and see how different they are in so many different ways. And that's what we're doing. We're shedding this layer of fear, because once we do that, our lives are going to take on a totally different meaning without that fear. And that is what I've been hearing is happening now, and it's happening. So while we're being bombarded with fear, the more you can take a step away from fear and don't engage with it, the better. And you can choose which frequency you want to ingest almost. That's what they said. It was like, you decide what kind of frequency you want to vibrate at, basically, and ingest that frequency. And then that'll help you, raise your own frequency.
So in a way, it sounds like this fear that when they were seeding this planet, fear came in and everything. And if your thoughts on this was just my thoughts on it. It seems like here's an opportunity to learn from this and experience this life. But yeah, it has fear, but what can we make and what can we create with this?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's what it's like when we seed many other planets. I mean, you have to adapt to what it is. And because there's so many variables, that's all part of this experiment. That's what makes it an experiment. It has to be different. Otherwise, it would all be the same. So just the fact that the fear was here was, in a sense, a benefit in a sense, even though it wasn't intended to be that way. That we've learned so much from the fear. So it has a, positive spin to it as well.
Right. Don't let a bad situation go to waste, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because in my mind, it's like no experience goes to waste.
Exactly. Exactly. And I always wondered, why would people sign up for a negative experience? And they've said it's because you want to keep your energy, always going. You want to keep your energy moving. And some of these, even these horrible negative experiences are better than just being in one place, being static. you know, because there's so much to be gained from a negative experience, and it's never negative.
Was anything talked about in the future? Was there any things in the
Just
future?
that we're ascending.
Yeah.
But you know, future is hard because you
Hmm.
never know. Things can change moment to moment.
Absolutely.
So it's
It's all those
really hard to,
timelines.
yeah, all the timelines. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a link in the description for Sarah for your YouTube channel, your website, your book, absolutely. So,
Thanks.
and what else you want me to share? Your event that's coming up.
Oh yeah, the Conscious Life
Yeah,
Expo.
so if you want some
That'll be
information
fun.
about that, check it out. And well, what is this book about? The Secrets of the Sphinx. Are you excited about this new book or what?
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited. Well,
So how did
after,
this second book come out? I know you, and if you notice, I have your book right here. Oh, it went somewhere. It was
one of the
right there.
beings took it.
I might have to redo this video.
No, you can leave it in as bloopers.
I know. So that's right, it's in the bedroom. So I was taking
Oh,
notes from it. So
oh.
what made you come up with the second book? What's going on with the second one?
So I just wanted to pick up where we left off with Jen after the hypnotist journey to Atlantis. And I just started out with her and I let her higher self take us to wherever they wanted us to take us. So basically, I never write these books. I mean, it was written for me. And I thought we would start somewhere totally different. In fact, I had no idea it was going to end up being about the Sphinx at all.
Oh,
We so
nice.
we started out, her higher self took us to her past life in the 70s, and we got a much more in-depth look into that lifetime. But what was interesting about that lifetime is I thought that she just uncovered information with this person named Julie back in the 70s about Atlantis and Lemuria, that actually she uncovered so much more that they had recovered through those were early hypnosis sessions, and they uncovered so much information, but
What?
it never went, they didn't record it in anything. They just uncovered it.
They just
And
took notes and just listened to it and just
they
said, "Oh,
didn't even
that's
take
interesting."
notes. They would get together once a week after she was done working. I know.
Where's your
They would,
notepad at?
I know. But, you know, it all worked out. It had to come out. Now, it wasn't the right time. Everything about that life just wasn't the right time. It was too early for this information to come out in the 70s. But she uncovered all this information about the Sphinx, about Mars, about underground tunnels, and all different kinds of things. And we started getting this information again. This is information that she found with this person named Julie. And she would go after work, she would go to Julie's house and they would just get all this information. It was really rudimentary. Back in that day,
Ah,
she would stare at a candle to get this
uh-huh.
information. That was how Julie hypnotized her back then.
Gotcha.
And she would just get tons of information. They released that information to her really quickly in that lifetime. And that's why it's slower in her current lifetime as Jen, just because she felt maybe they released it too quickly in that lifetime. But because of this, we were able to get so much information. And we picked up where she left off with Julie. And it was
Gotcha.
it was fascinating because I had no idea how much stuff she had uncovered in that lifetime. And then we went through her life and we got a really detailed view of what that life was like for her. And then she went during that lifetime, she tried to share this information with some of her coworkers, and she was called crazy, and she was put into
Uh,
a mental institution. Even that was fascinating because as she was experiencing the electric shock therapy, so much more was uncovered through those
We're
sessions.
gonna
It
zap
was,
you.
yeah.
Here comes more information.
Yes, and that's exactly what was going on with her because as she would release the confines of her mind, so much of her mind opened up and she was just given so much information. And then she was lobotomized. And man, when there was no restrictions for her mind, she could go anywhere. And so it
Uh,
was quite fascinating just to learn so much about history and what kind of things she uncovered in that lifetime that was just kept secret for so many years.
Interesting. If you're watching this video on the Q.R.E network, the rest of the interview is going to be on Guardians of Magic, and that's where I keep all my information about Atlantis, the Sphinx, ancient Egypt. Anything from our ancient past is over on that YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on the Q.R.E network, click the link below and it'll bring you over to Guardians of Magic, and that's where all the information from our ancient past is. And some other interviews that I've done with you is on there as well. So if you want to see more
Awesome.
videos of Sarah, go check it out. I pretty much have a playlist. I think you're up to 4 videos on there.
Nice.
I know you had the Miami one when you was in Miami.
Oh yeah,
That was a fun one,
that's cool.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's when the information was first place and fresh in your
Yes.
mind.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
And almost like you left class and called me that day.
I did. I know. I couldn't wait to tell you.